Women of Reddit, what was something you didn't know about men till you got with one? How different a penis can look soft versus erect. And how much it can shrink in the cold. Most of them are way into cuddling and having their heads rubbed. Scratch my back with longish fingernails and I am in heaven. My husband can't sleep anymore without me giving him soft scratches all over his back and bum as we fall asleep. Sometimes this means I keep myself awake until he falls asleep, but hearing those gentle snores is worth it. Edit, wow, didn't know this would blow up. The husband laughed and agreed that this is indeed true. Edit 2, I love you all. Edit 3, to clarify, my husband is the best human I've ever known and my best friend. He is always doing things for me and loves me just as much as I love him. I couldn't be luckier. I love this comment. My wife loves scratching my back as much as I love when she does it, but it doesn't put me to sleep. In fact, we kind of have it reversed. My wife loves when I touch her as she's going to sleep, like her leg touching mine, my hand on her arm, whatever it may be. She has a hard time sleeping without it. Luckily I stay up much later than her, so it works out where I am able to tuck her in every night. Edit, my most popular comment is about my wife. I'm very good with this. Thank you all. Smile. That guys can make their dick move without touching it. The first time I saw my ex do this I was really surprised. I can make mine fetch the newspaper. I would be impressed if it made breakfast. They love compliments and will hold on to them for years. I noticed this with my husband a while back. Whenever I tell him that something he wears makes him look nice, he'll wear it as often as possible. If he tries something on while shopping that I think looks good on him, he'll buy it and put it on as soon as we get home. I love that guy. The last compliment I received was from my friend's 13-year-old daughter about 4 years ago. She said, "You look really cool in that shirt." Not that the shirt was cool. I was cool in it. It's my first shirt to wear after laundry day. I'm always in a better mood with that shirt on. I will never forget the compliment. 8 to 9 years ago, walking through a parking lot on the way into work, a woman, also walking in, says to me, "You have a nice walking pace." It's very consistent. Maybe just because it's an odd thing to compliment that it stayed in my head. But it's the best compliment I can remember since then, and I've been married 5 years. To someone completely different. That they can literally beat the life out of, and slap around, their dong, but one tap of the balls and they're on the ground. How often they need to readjust their balls. I rotate mine every 3,000 miles. Testicular torsion is not a joke, sir. You guys are a portable heater, your body emanates so much heat and here I am with extremities that are stone cold. Plus, a boner doesn't mean you are horny. Boners are just random. Puberty is especially rough for this reason. The most popular boner is, "Oh, it's 5 minutes left of class. Hope I don't get an Eric, no." Can you come up to the board and show the class how to solve this fraction? This hits for every guy who was ever in school, lol. I genuinely thought men held their penis when they peed because otherwise it would fly all around with the force of urine going through it. I also believed it was like a fireman's hose and would just spray all over the walls. Only sometimes. My friend said she was amazed at how men can make anything fun and a collaborative project. Throwing rocks in the lake? How far can you throw? How many skips? Biggest splash? Or digging a hole at the beach? Every man will join in and make a hole halfway to China. Inside every man is the latent, primal urge to dig a hole. I ducking loved digging holes when I was a kid and we lived in a house with a fair bit of woods. I'd just grab the shovel, choose a spot and dig for like, hours. And then I'd look at it and be damn proud of this big ol' hole I just dug. My parents were fucking furious. Lamau. If there is a poop stain in the toilet, they will try to aim their pee to hit it. It's really disappointing if we can't fully remove it with a full bladder. When you got that Austin Powers out of cryo level bladder and still can't power wash it. Feel Spadman. That balls don't typically hang at the same level, one is a little lower than the other. All those dick doodles have lied to me. Yes. I had to explain this to my wife, then I also had to explain to her that very few women have two breasts the same size. She had always been self-conscious about it. See my username, I've seen many. How much trauma they tend to accept as simple facts of life. Definitely made me more invested in my brothers. If my husband has experienced X, Y, and Z and has thought nothing should be done or even said about it, how many experiences like that have the other men in my life had? I've had that before. Don't know that anyone told me to suppress stuff, but once the obvious steps have been taken, traumatic stuff just gets compartmentalized. I was molested as a very young child, and after berating some folks at the camp where it happened, it just wasn't something we talked about because what was to say? Most of my family had a similar experience in some other context during their lives. I thought it was a regrettable but not uncommon thing. Didn't cross my mind that this is a big deal till I was in my 20s. That the ballsack physically moves around and you can see when it gets looser or tightens. It's super fascinating to look at, you can also feel it. And the man can't control it. Edit, it happens based on temperature. Edit 2, I think we should all just agree to call this the lava lamp effect. I trust my balls to know what state they need to be in. They seem to be handling things well enough so far. Except for that one time they thought they needed to be in Vermont, when I was in New Mexico. They can make their penis move up and down, when it's erected, without touching it. Edit, thanks guys. Now I know it's Kegels. It doesn't have to be erect. The penis itself isn't a muscle, but it's attached at the base to one. If you contract relax said muscle, the penis will go up and down accordingly. Oh wow, it even more impressive. It also flexes our taint and asshole. As one gets into attack mode, the other has to get into defense mode. How itchy their balls can be sometimes. And being quiet doesn't mean they're mad or thinking about someone else, they're just vibing. Edited to say, holy crap. Didn't expect my comment to get so much attention. Thank you guys. What are you thinking? I'm trying to figure out how many iron smelters I need to make an optimal barrel factory. This is too painfully true. My ex once saw me very visibly deep in thought staring at the ceiling in bed while cuddling. She asked what I was thinking about, and apparently Amish barn construction is not the correct answer in these situations. I can't speak for every woman, but this is exactly the kind of answer I am looking for when I ask this question. I genuinely love knowing what people's random little thoughts are. It brings me such joy to hear shit like how many chickens we could fit in the car for my boyfriend. Like comfortably? Or if you were really stuffing them in there? How they can spend an entire day with a person and not learn a single thing about them. I've known people for years without ever knowing their name. It's kinda strange, cause at a certain point you really ought to know and you're pretty sure the other guy doesn't know your name either, so you just kinda work with it cause both parties are too embarrassed to just ask. My ex-wife was shocked at how short a phone conversation can be for dudes. My best friend called me once. This man literally flew across the country once to be at our wedding, called me because he was bringing me to work the next day. Still need a ride? Yep, okay, I'll be there at 5:30 sounds good, and that was it. She sat there astonished and was asking why didn't we want to talk to each other? I really had no good answers either, it's just the way she goes I guess. My favorite cousin texted me we got engaged, best man? Yep. Cool, his wife is still baffled by it. The best conversation I've had with a stranger, what's going on? Good. How are you? Nothing. Nods. $1 million question, you not up or down? Up is for people we know. Down is for strangers. Up exposes the throat as a sign of trust and respect, down is a defensive posture. Duh. That their balls move on their own? Weirdest thing ever. Yup, can confirm, it's a slow squirming action down there. Sometimes more activity than at other times. Lol, did you lay there and study it? Like a nature documentary? This is what happens when you get really close with your girlfriend. They start studying your balls and using your penis as a microphone.